Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I will continue teaching chapter 7 Volcanoes in Geography. From page 61 to the end of the chapter I will cover in today's class. I will start with the topic on page 61, Constructive Effect of Volcanoes. These topics are quite important for your exam. So let's see. Before I start teaching, I would like to remind you all that please open your book to page 61, follow my explanation, relate it with the topics explained, try to understand, and after you listen to my explanation, please read these pages thoroughly once again to make your understanding very clear. So let's start. Constructive effects of volcanoes. Constructive means after the volcano take place, landforms are created. Some new construction take place. What are those construction? Let us see. They create new land. For example, Hawaiian Island, they are created because of this volcanic eruption, and they are volcanic in origin, and therefore volcano create new land. This is the first point. Second one, volcanoes are a source of geothermal energy. The heat energy, the thermal energy that is stored inside the earth, this is known as geothermal energy. We can harness the geothermal energy to produce new energy which is very clean and non-exhaustible. That means there is almost no chance of getting it depleted. We can use it again and again. These are obviously non-conventional energy resources and therefore non-polluting, clean, and can be used again and again. They are non-exhaustible. Third point, they provide us with rocks like granite and basalt which are useful for construction work. When volcanic eruption take place, lava comes out, and along with that fragments of rocks also come out. So it provides us with rocks like granite and basalt which are highly useful in construction. Gemstones like Jharkhand, topaz, ruby, these are formed by the crystallization of magma. So these are very precious, costly gems which are formed due to the solidification of magma. So because of volcano, we come across these precious stones or gems. Next point, they create very rich and fertile soil like black soil. In the Deccan Trap, you will find black soil which is good for the growth of cotton and sugarcane. Highly water retentive soil. You must have heard about the famous black cotton soil. Not only in Deccan Plateau but in other places also you will find this soil which is very rich and fertile and good for the growth of crops like cotton and sugarcane. One such example I gave from India, that is in the Deccan Trap, that you will find this black cotton soil. Next point, the crater lakes in the volcanoes are a source of many rivers. In caldera, you have seen the demonstration, you have read that how the ground surface collapses inward because of the partial emptying of the magma chamber inside, and therefore there is a depression and the caldera lakes are formed due to the accumulation of water from precipitation or when the glaciers melt. Now from those lakes several rivers are formed. These are the source of many rivers. For example, Lake Victoria. It is the source of River Nile in Africa. Then you have the geysers and hot springs. They have high medicinal values and they sometimes preserve old civilization. For example, the ruins of Pompeii. Next is destructive effects of volcano. This point is equally important. Let's read and understand. Earlier it was constructive effects, and now we will read about the destruction, devastations that are caused due to this volcanic eruption. First point, the lava flow destroys life and property. When this volcanic eruption takes place, it unstables the support of the earth's crust, and therefore it destroys life and property. The falling of volcanic ash on the roofs of houses can make it impossible to breathe. You have read earlier in the first page of the chapter that there are so many gases which get released when this eruption takes place. So it is quite impossible to breathe in such gas and live through the volcanic ash. Next, pyroclastic flows are a mixture of hot gases and ash. They travel very quickly down the slopes of volcanoes, and they are dangerous to life. They can put an end to life. This volcanic ash, hot gases. Okay, next point. Gases like water vapor, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide and hydrogen are hazardous to health. They cause the respiratory problems, headache, fatigue. That is, after inhaling such gases, people start feeling, or animals start feeling very exhausted, and it reduces visibility. It creates some haziness. It blurs our vision and therefore reduces visibility. The eruption of Kilauea in Hawaii have been extremely dangerous to life. Next, in 1815, the deadly eruption of volcano Tambora in Indonesia killed around 10,000 people. So from this you can understand well that how destructive a volcano can be to life and property. Next point, the ash emitted during an eruption is bad for jet aircraft engines. This hampers aviation as it reduces visibility, and due to the sudden release of various gases into the atmosphere, it causes some bad harmful effect for jet aircraft engines. Pyroclastic flow along the slopes may melt snow and cause lahars which destroy cities and towns. When the magma comes out from the vent, from the crater, that is the mouth of the vent, and it flows out, the debris that flows out of that gets accumulated, gets solidified, and this also cause destroy in cities and towns around, because they can flow for a longer distance, and the places through which they flow, they destroy those places. Next is volcanic eruption may also cause extremely high sea waves which lead to extensive drowning of large areas. Now some volcanic eruption takes place inside the below the sea. Then those volcanic eruption causes extremely high sea waves, which again leads to drowning of the large areas. There is an increase in the level of water in the seas, and therefore it engulfs the places which are located around the coastal areas. So large cities get drowned under sea because it produces, volcanic eruption produces extremely high waves. So water level increases and engulfs everything. Next, distribution of volcanoes in the world. Quite important topic, children. The earth continues to witness large-scale volcanic activities. The active volcanoes along with the dormant ones are primarily found in the belt of young fold mountains like the Himalayas, where the earth's crust is unstable. It is still rising, because of these tectonic plates which are inside or below, which are constantly in motion, and these young fold mountains are still rising today. So active volcanoes occur along these areas. This leads to movement inside the earth which helps in the occurrence of volcanic activities. Because of this movement, volcanic eruptions are quite common. Now let us move to page 62. On top of the book you see the Circum-Pacific Belt or Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire is an area stretching from New Zealand along the eastern edge of Asia, north across the Aleutian island of Alaska, and south along the western coast of North and South America. Now, why is it called the Ring of Fire is very important. Because it comprises over 75%. So, most of the volcanoes of the world, active and dormant, both this type of volcanoes, around 75% occurs around this Pacific Ring of Fire. The Pacific plate collides and slides underneath other plates, and this process is called subduction. When one plate goes down and the other one gets up, then it is called subduction, and this zone is called the subduction zone. The plates collide among themselves, one slides underneath and the other one rises on top of it, and this is how the tectonic plates move, and this is called subduction, and this is the subduction zone, and 75% of the world volcanoes are located in and around this area. Now there is an illustration, figure 7.2. You see it is written in big ring of fire, this light purple color that is used to show the volcanoes that are located in this belt. Next, along the eastern coast of Asia, the area comprises a series of islands which includes the Kurile Island, Island of Japan, Taiwan, Philippines, Indonesian islands stretching up to New Zealand. Along the western coast, you have North and South America. It includes the mountain belts of the Rockies and Andes, which are all young full mountains, like the Himalayas, the one which we have in our Asia continent. Some important volcanoes are South America, you will find Cotopaxi, Cerro Azul. In Central America, Popocatépetl and Paricutin. In Japan, Mount Fuji. Philippines, Mount Mayon. Indonesia, Mount Krakatoa. So these are the world famous volcanoes that you will find in these locations. Next, down on this page, page 62, you see another topic, Mid-World Mountain Belt. The Mid-World Mountain Belt is known as the Alpine Himalayan Belt. In the Asian continent, you will find this one. It commences. Commences means it starts. From where? From the Canary Island, which passes along the Alps to the Himalayan range near the northeastern border of India. It bends southward to Yunnan, Myanmar and Andaman to the Indonesian island, where it merges with the Pacific Ring of Fire. So ultimately it joins this Pacific Ring of Fire. It passes through several areas. It bends southward, passes through Myanmar, Andaman, Yunnan to the Indonesian islands, and then it finally merges with this Pacific Ring of Fire. Some important volcanoes are Mount Vesuvius, Mount Stromboli, Mount Etna, Mount Kilimanjaro and Mount Kenya. There are no active volcanoes in the Himalayan belt. So here we come to the end of the chapter. Again I repeat the same thing. Please follow my explanation related with the pages of your book and try to understand and read these pages thoroughly once again. And after that, please write, give reason, questions that are given on page 64 of your book in copy. Give reason, exercise C of this chapter. Write this in copy and learn the glossaries. Okay, student? That's all for today. Thank you for watching.